Alright, so it seems that this site, this YouTube, if you will, has facilitated a platform for people to regurgitate talking points so that people that don't want to think can pretend that they formulated an opinion. And I just wanted to debunk one of the more tired talking points that these people, and I put them in quotation marks because I'm still not sure if a lot of human life that we see on this site is actually a human. I feel like the people that just use a picture instead of the physical visage are actually more likely to be human because of the inherent shame that using an image implies. Like, hey, I know I'm a human and I don't like how I look because I'm a human, and that's like a part of it. You know, like I do that. But people that just show themselves, I mean, it's not very human-like to me. But regardless, this whole idea of trying to dodge that you're a bigot by saying, I'm not a bigot. I don't hate people. I hate culture. I hate the agenda. Like, I can understand, especially when people go, I don't like their agenda. Mostly because the reason why they don't like their agenda is because they don't know what the agenda is, right? So of course you don't like something that you don't understand. How can you agree with something that you don't understand? Like, it's pretty fucking obvious why you don't agree with it. You don't understand it. Like, I don't agree with the weird nightmarish content that exists in the middle of children's videos, that if you watch the children's videos long enough, like, you know, a child would do on a tablet for a few hours, you run into these spooky videos. I don't understand why they have to exist, so I don't like it, because it seems kind of useless, and it's damaging innocent people that didn't do anything to anybody. But hey, that's not what we're talking about, are we? We're talking about how bigots use their ignorance to justify their ignorance. So, my favorite one is the homophobic justification that you may have heard. I'm not a homophobe. I don't hate gays. I just hate their agenda being like thrown in our face all the time. And oh my god, the gay agenda. Again, I'm giving these people way too much of a benefit of a doubt, but at the same time calling them stupid. But the best case scenario is that you don't understand what the gay agenda is, and because you don't understand what it is, you disagree with it. The problem is you're disagreeing with something that isn't real. You're disagreeing with an entity that does not exist. Okay? You're disagreeing with a thought process that doesn't exist. You made it up. So what's the gay agenda? It's pretty simple. Gay people, for many years, have been told and treated like they are deviants and wrong and shouldn't exist in society. The whole idea that gay marriage shouldn't exist because for some reason that specific type of marriage is bad, but all the other marriages that are existent are okay. You know, forced marriage, fine. You know, that's great, as long as it's a guy and a girl. And straight marriage, obviously, it's traditional because it's been around the longest, and people like that. You know, it's nice, a guy and a gal, perfectly fine. A girl and a girl, no. Well, I mean, if they're hot, and you know how it goes from there. The dissonance, the cognitive dissonance between gays are bad unless they're attractive. But if you don't like the gay agenda, then you are most likely homophobic, because the gay agenda is just them going, we are not deviants. We're normal like everyone else. and we should be treated like equals. We should be treated like people. We should not be treated like deviants. And love is love. It's the simple idea of equality. And so gay pride is them going, hey, we deserve to be celebrated too. We deserve to have a good time and have a space where we can hang out and be ourselves without people saying that we're destroying society, because we're not destroying society. And yet, you have all these people that still insist that somehow people being gay is going to destroy the world. And it's just not. It's not going to happen. So, again, if you believe these videos that say, well, you're not homophobic because you disliked the gay agenda, I'm sorry, but you are. Because you don't want gays to be existent. You don't want them to exist. You don't like looking at them. You don't like seeing them happy. You don't like seeing the agenda of them being normalized. This is extremely homophobic. So, you are a homophobe. And then you have racist bigots. And it's the same parallel. And I started with the gay one because this is the one, that's the one that people really want to defend. And it's the weakest of the two, but the one that I saw first was racial bigots saying, I'm not a bigot, I'm not racist, I don't hate black people because of their skin, I simply hate the culture that they have cultivated. Oh, okay. So you don't hate black people because of their skin, you just hate them because of how they act, what they believe in, and everything about them other than their skin. Okay. And how do you know if it's black culture? You're racist. And then let's double down on the qualifying oppression argument. Trying to deflect. It's a type of deflection, honestly. It's not a statement. They're not trying to tell you anything. They are deflecting from their inherent bigotry by pointing out facts that, if they point them out, would, in their mind, it'll turn it on to the people that are calling them bigots. Well, if I'm a bigot, then why do I know about these negative things that are going on in other countries? And the fact that these things are going on in other countries then invalidates any type of oppression that you feel, because it could be worse. Therefore, you shouldn't try to change anything for the better. This can, of course, be refuted by simple logic, because the logic that they use is quite simple. To believe this type of thing is to believe that you can't have a broken leg and an upset stomach at the same time. The belief that you can't break your finger and have a cold at the same time. It's very stupid. So just because people that are Islamic don't like gays more than you don't like gays, although that's up for debate, honestly, you're just not as violent. You still hate gays as much as they do, you're just not violent about it. Yet. And some of you are violent about it. And you'll justify your violence by going, well, there aren't as many violent people here, so it's okay that I'm violent, or that I preach the violence. It's a joke, because we're not a violent people in America, but it's a joke that I wish violence upon people based on their decisions that they make in private. So again, what I don't understand is how people let themselves get so lost in this void that they not only keep themselves trapped in there, they then try to get other people trapped in this same useless, pointless void of misinformation, bigotry, and stupidity. This anti-intellectual propaganda machine that we have going on right now, the anti-facts, the alternative facts, the identity, quote-unquote, politics. Like, it's done on both sides. This anti-bigotry thing is an identity politic. It's trying to take the identity of being a bigot and weaponize it to take these people that are bigoted and use their internal shame to convert them into becoming bigots that have a sense of justification for their bigoted thoughts, even though their justification is wrong, factually wrong, logically wrong, and you can deny that you're a bigot all you want, but you're still a bigot if you're a bigot. Like, I don't like that people think that they can just deny something and then it goes away. It's not how it works. So, like, if somebody says that I hate gays, for example, because maybe I use the trope of calling stuff that I don't like gay, and calling people gay if they do things that are affectionate towards the same sex, and using gay as a bit of a joke, but at the same time, I can show that I greatly support this gay agenda by supporting the videos that have the gay agenda in them. And I can show them examples of me advocating against bigotry. And it's a tone argument at that point, which is useless. So I'm allowed to make jokes amongst my friends, right? Right. If I don't go on YouTube and say that these major things are gay, it's amongst friends. And although you present it for the world to see, it's not trying to give a message. That's the big difference between what I'm doing in this video and what I do when I do like a let's play or something where I'm streaming. It's a weird environment that you're like in a private session at the time, but at the same time, even though you're amongst your friends, you're not. You're also public. And I think that the social dynamics of that are still very difficult for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. And jokes that you make amongst friends are jokes. And they're made to be funny. They're made because they're fun, because you're having a good time. And if the only time that I start saying stuff is gay, and that you're gay and he's gay, is when I'm having a good time, I'm associating these things with a good thing. And it's why I advocate that humans should be treated like humans. Whether they're gay, black, Latino, illegal, or legal, they're still humans. And it's so important that we, as a people, do not lose sight of that. And unfortunately, as time goes on, it looks like we are.